Catching up with a few things. How's everyone? Who do we have? We have Toy Pups. Toy Pups, how are you? What's new with you, Toy Pups? And give me 1 second. I very much enjoyed my discussion today. Okay. Michael, how are you? Michael drops a link. He's got what's coming up here? I'm going to leave your first hunting for ghosts at a local graveyard. And then I believe we have a short. The long one I will leave up and I'll revisit, but I'm going to check out your short now. Michael does good work, guys. What else we got going on? Dr. Tom is here. Hey, Tom. Tom, how was your day? Cat is getting sleepy. Hey, Sniper. Cat says to go with Toy Pups. Cat's going to go outside and lock the chickens up. Hey, Tiger King. Eric is singing Xmas. We're going to sing some Xmas songs on the 22nd. Chris and I. Uncle says, Yogi, guess what? I'm only 9 subs away from reaching 700. Hey, Tiger King, are you subscribed to Michael? Paul, how are you? Paul, you doing okay? Big thanks to Shirley, who is a member of the channel. Very much appreciate that. I appreciate every member. I hope I can make it worthwhile. So when I say I hope I can make it worthwhile, doesn't necessarily mean the members only section. Although I do hope I can make that worthwhile. I hope I can make my channel worthwhile, that people want to support it. Toy Pups, you still here? Why won't you read my message out full? I thought I just did. You said, hi, Eric. You going to sing Xmas singer Eric song, right? Sing Christmas songs? I thought I answered that. But anyway. Anyway, Tiger King. At this point in our friendship, you should know that I do things in my own unique way. It's not personal. Nothing I say or do should ever be taken personal by you, right? I'm never trying to be hurtful for you. I'm never going to hurt your feelings. I'm never going to attack you. I might say some strongly worded things to you, but I will do that to any one of my friends. And I hope they would do the same to me, and many of them have. I think a large amount of misunderstanding is because it's in written print. You know what I mean? Even my categories. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, how are you? Michael says, woke up with that nice surprise this morning. Who's Mike? Oh, Michael. That is chemical. Chemical Nirub. Chemical Nirub. Michael Burkeen. Chemical. Nah, it's not so much 60s card. It's just, when you're reading comments, you learn to sort of read them in your own way. Just to make things easier. Charlie says, I'm good. Had my 6-month checkup with my primary today. Everything check out okay? Anyone here get to check out the live stream with Dr. Sheila Patel this afternoon? We talked about sleep. We talked a bit about meditation. But mainly sleep from a very unique perspective. Paul says, I'm trying to hanging in there. Thank you, Yogi. Hey, I was thinking about you today, Paul. Just to let you know, prayers. Hey, prayers to our friend, Lady Sky. It's a tough day for her as well. Michael says, oh, nice. I think I missed it because I was at the graveyard this afternoon. I'm going to make a whole bunch of clips to make it easy for people to catch up with. Peggy King said, excuse me, got to wake up 4:30 in the morning, Jake Paul versus Anthony. You think it's going to be worth it? Charlie says, yes, things look good. Thank you, Charlie. Cat gives us a wave. Hey, Daniel. Daniel, how are you? Hey, Sue. Bud Files is here, guys. So I do talk a lot about a lot of the things that Dr. Patel mentioned for getting a better night's sleep. It's not just about getting a better night's sleep. It's getting consistent sleep over and over again. She talked about the great damage anytime we enter even a little bit of sleep deficit. If you suffer a sleep deficit for one night, your body enters into a pre-diabetic state. And we shrug it off. Well, it's just a bad night's sleep. But we have a couple bad nights sleep in a row. We have a few over the course of a week. We have a few weeks out of a month, right? It leads to a great deal of inflammation of the body, inflammation of the brain. Becky King says, Cat, how's your day go, Cat? It's windy here too, Charlie. Just picked up. It was really nice this morning. Becky King says, yes, say Jake Paul knockouts. Can't wait. You thinking Jake Paul's going to get knocked out? As I mentioned, Dr. Patel was actually one of my instructors when I took my meditation instructors training course. Tiger King says, Zubro, Dave Sky Eric, she's a nice lady. You're right, she's a nice lady. We'll see Tiger King. I will ring it, but not quite yet. I'm going to see if she comes in so we can ring it when she's here. If she doesn't come in, we'll ring it later in the day. If you're still here, if you can do me a favor and remind me, I'd appreciate it. You're right. She really is a nice lady. Sniper is making a prediction. Anthony Joshua wins sixth round by knockdown. So who is Anthony Joshua? Michael's going to be right back. I need some coffee. Hey, Carl. Carl says, thanks, everyone. Good night. Good night to you, my friend. Carl, it was great hearing you laughing. Hey, Sherry. Sherry, how are you? Sniper says, Olympics medal winner, British boxer. Oh, I got to put my money on him then. If I had money and if I was a betting man and if I enjoyed boxing. Yeah, if he was a medal winner, means he knows how to box. Hey, Anu, how are you? Mustafa says Eric, hi, and hi to all. Mustafa, thank you so much for those kind messages you left uh, earlier today. For those who were in this morning, or this afternoon, thank you for the questions to Dr. Patel. I very much appreciate that. And those live streams, sometimes the questions really help things flow quite a bit. We got 2 more days before the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the least amount of light that we get. However, it's that day with the absence of light that allows more light to start coming in day by day. I'm glad you're doing good, Anu. Pacific says, "Welcome, Eric. We are the ones who should be thanking you because we truly benefit from all the topics here. I'm going to do my best to keep the guests coming. We'll have some repeat guests in the upcoming year, which is good. I want to reach out to all the ones that have come up before. He's a former 2-time heavyweight champion, having held the Unified World Heavyweight Championship twice, 2017 to 2019, 2019 to 221. I love it when she comes up too. Anu, my friend, thank you so much. Anu has become a member. Man, my memberships are growing. That is much appreciated. I am sorry, got to pay attention to my cat. I'm hopeful. I am now I'm at 87 total members. Of course, you'll lose a lot of them. Everyone who gets a gift membership, not everyone keeps it. That's okay. Gives them a taste, and some will. I hope. I hope I can. Again, I just hope I can make it worthwhile. Um, what was the message, Tiger King? Let's see. Samrat. What are your thoughts on Hindu genocide in Bangladesh? Hindu guy was beaten to death, and then they burned his body because he was not Muslim. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. My thoughts are that violence is never the answer to anything. So I can't comment on like anything more, anything specific, because this is the first I heard about it. Violence is never the answer to anything. Hey, Cooper. God bless everyone. Jesus is Lord. God bless you, my friend. Tom says, Hare Krishna to you, my friend. Yeah, I love it when Miss Pippa comes up too, Tiger King. God bless you too, Anu. Anu, thank you so much. I really appreciate the membership. Mustafa says, Eric, there's no guest tomorrow. There is a guest tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Chris Neibauer is coming up. He's the author. It was a best-selling book, No Self, No Problem. He's a neuropsychologist, and the subtitle is how neuropsychology is catching up to Buddhism. So we talk a lot about the ego here, right? The ego is the issue, according, we offer it from a Course in Miracles perspective, mostly, as well as a yogic perspective. Uh, the self as equated to the ego as equated to the self will be one of the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So no self, no problem. Tiger King says, Kat, how are you, mate? I think she's out taking care of her chickens. Lady Sky, we were just talking about you, my friend. Tiger King was concerned. Tiger King wanted me to ring. Tiger King wanted me to ring the bell for you 3 times, and I thought we would wait to see if you showed up. Mustafa says, great guess. Great, yes, will be good, and I will make sure to watch it even if I missed the stream. Yeah, this is it was a great book. I think I read this about 5 years ago. I hope you guys come in with some questions. All right, upon request. Lady Sky, this is for you. Tiger King really, really wanted to give you a blessing. Very concerned. He was sending out his love for you. Been thinking about you today, Lady Sky. Michael is back with his coffee. I have a guest on Sunday too. He is a long time, since the 90s, course student. Give Let's Say Love. He's the one he's coming up. He considers himself a spiritual adventurer, a mystic, lover of nature, Course Miracles. He wrote a book, Give Let's Say. Interesting guy. Him and I have been just corresponding a little bit, messenger. We both have navigated through addiction. He was a musician, so that puts you in a position. I think our friend Tom knows more about this, of course, than I do. That, you know, for me, I get this grace period where I leave my addiction behind, which was awesome. But if you're a musician, you're always in a position where that temptation to pull you back in is going to be there. Thank you, Anu. Guys, are you all subscribed to our friend Anu? Tegakin says, I believe in ghosts. I neither believe nor disbelieve. If that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Guys, reach out to our friend Anu. Say try, Eric. What do you mean, Tiger King? Farina says, Oma ni pa mi hung. Hey, Rowena, I think you'll enjoy our guests tomorrow. Tom says, just subscribed. Awesome. Hey, so Tom, You think it's more difficult for musicians when they're navigating through, when they enter the first stages of recovery, because they're around it so much? For me, you know, when I was gifted sobriety, the one thing I missed was the social engagement. I no longer miss being drunk. I went to bars a little bit thinking, well, I could hang out socially. I don't need a drink, right? But I found out that not only did I lose any desire to drink, my desire to actually be in that place just wasn't there at all. So I could leave, but as a musician, you're there, you know, you're in the midst of that addictive behavior all the time. Tiger King says, who believes in ghosts? Sure says, yes, makes sense. Buddhist 10th fetter. I know nothing. Which is also lesson 25 in A Course in Miracles. I don't know what anything is for. I just made a video of Dub Fishman talking about that from our conversation together. I'm doing pretty good, Lady Sky. Lady Sky says, how are you, the Tiger King? How come you're not doing good, Tiger King? Michael says, as a paranormal investigator and storyteller that focus on haunted houses, I definitely believe in ghosts. So if there's questions for those that may resonate, is the Para Yoga for those who are already awakened. Interesting. So that would be the coming age. Am I correct about that, Sniper? This guy says she's sorry to hear that, Tiger King. Sure says cool. I didn't know that. You know, in Zen Buddhism out, particularly the Korean Zen, they talk about cultivating the don't know mind as the highest state of awakening, enlightenment itself. I don't know. I like to call it the cosmic shrug. I don't know. The what they say in Korean Zen is you may as well, and Advaita. You guys familiar with Advaita? I'd like to get him to come up and give a talk sometime. You may as well start now with not knowing because you're going to end up there anyway. The accumulation of knowledge is not the way to awakening or enlightenment, but accepting everything as mystery, the ineffable. This guy says, how to squirrel sniper? Rita says, you know the word nothing, so you know something. Well, you know the word. You might know the word nothing, but have we experienced nothingness itself? The key is not to get stuck in the nothingness. This guy says, awesome yogi. Tom says, with most gigs being at alcohol, that's what I was thinking. Selling venues and having complimentary drinks for performing there, definitely hard to navigate. Not to mention maybe some stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Marina says, Lady Sky, there are blue skies ahead. She says, yep. Michael says, Yogi, I'm inventing my own ghost hunting tool. I'm calling it the paranormal learning block. It'll be a manually operated tool that will make the ghosts use energy to flip the block. So what would be the inspiration for them to flip the box, Michael? Sure says, yeah, Buddhism brought me back to Christian mystic. Love Adishanta. Me too. He's not teaching much anymore, though. So What did you find in Christic mysticism that you didn't find in Buddhism? Or was it that way? Let's see. Well, the world might appear to be in a state of Kali Yuga, darkness and discord. An individual's eternal state or level of consciousness can shift them into the vibration of a different era entirely. Well, I can see that. Tiger King says, "Why won't you tell us where Lucy is for Eric?" I don't know where Lucy is. You got to ask Lucy. Marina says, "The word is enlightenment." Tiger King says, "Selma, okay?" Oh, Selma's okay. She was here last week, Tiger King. Mustafa says, Eric was the main topic of conversation with our guest, Dr. Sheila, who was great. Will there be any other guests like her soon to discuss similar topics? I hope so. Can't make any promises. Um, I invited my breathwork coach, the one who taught me how to be a breathwork teacher. I invited him up. Haven't heard back. I hope he comes up. Um, who else? I invited Richard Lang. Richard Lang is continuing the legacy of um, Douglas Harding. Douglas Harding of the Headless Way. We've been talking about that quite a bit. Had a very profound non-dual experience with that direct pointing. Michael says it'll have phrases like yes, no, stay, leave, ghost, and help me. Yeah, but Mustafa, I will be reaching out to more healers for sure. I've been reaching out to some channelers too, but really not a whole lot of the channelers have wanted to come up, or they haven't replied, I should say. Interesting, Michael. Michael, you gonna be able to make it yourself? Stephen says removes victim mentality. Living in a dark age suggests that enlightenment is a choice of frequency, regardless of the calendar year. I would agree with that. Rita says, the ace, the P realm would like peace. Elric says, do you look like a computer guy? Are you? No, it's the glasses. Don't let the glasses fool you. If I were to take the glasses off, you'd be like, oh, yeah, he's not that smart. He doesn't look that smart after all. That even Cypher says, looks so deceiving. Absolutely. Sherry says, he officially retired. Buddhism gave me the intellectual door I needed to enter the great mystery. How nice. So, Sherry, uh, what are your practices now, if you don't mind me asking? Tiger King says, will you ever get some come up to talk about gambling? That would be amazing for me. Um, if I knew someone specifically, I think you're the only one I've ever known. Gambling addiction. I mean, I know of it, but I just never met anyone personally. But you know what? All addictions are the same. The antidote to all addiction is the same. Here says, yes, we are blessed to have this channel, and I love Douglas too. I wish I had met Douglas. He passed away right before I had the opportunity. The ripe old age of either 96 or 97, very sharp all the way to the end. I did correspond with his wife, Catherine, a little bit, messenger, which is very nice. Very reached out to me on some of the writings that I did that concerned the Headless Way. I have sat in meetings with Richard Lang. I've corresponded with Richard just a little bit. I haven't visited there, my friend. I rest sing. If I ever reach out to his publicist, Lama Soor Das said he would come up and talk. That would be something. Sebastian, how are you? Hey, Devin. Hope all is well with you too, my friend. Mustafa says, yes, Eric, that's great. I'm just going to keep reaching out to anyone who I think might be um, helpful. That's the bottom line. More than anything, people will be helpful. So I was really surprised that Dr. Patel said yes, that she would come up. I was so happy. I got a chance to talk a bit privately with her, and I thanked her for what she's done for me. As I mentioned, she was my when I got certified to be a meditation teacher. She was one of the teachers, certifying teachers. So I'll keep reaching out to as many people as I can. I've only been having guests up since September. So just about 3 months. I hope to keep doing this. I feel very much on point with what I'm doing with my channel right now. Devin says, so from Tucson. I've never been to Tucson. Michael says, Sniper just got what you meant when you said looks looks so deceiving. Oh, I got what he meant. Michael says, I'm using a prototype from an old plastic cube. I found it for now. Michael, you ever made a spirit box before? Rita says, evil is the word live backwards, living in the past. I like that. This guy says, Saga King, she's doing okay. She's just really busy currently. Mustafa says, Eric, what do you think of Maureen Williamson's book? I just read her last book. It's on the shelf back here somewhere. The Mystic Jesus. And I liked it a lot. Her book, so I had read books that had mentioned Course in Miracles back in the late 80s. Wayne Dyer, other books as well. They would quote Course in Miracles. So there was an interest. It planted a seed. And then 91, 92, 93, one of those years, A Return to Love came out. First book I ever read entirely related to the Course. That's when I knew I was going to get the Course. It took me a little while longer to get it, but I read some more books about it. I knew a lot about the Course before I even picked up the Course. Then I finally bought the Course. I didn't get around to reading it for a bit. And then I open it up, and then I put it away, and then I open it up, and I put it away. Sometimes I'd get up to 100 lessons. Some might even gotten up to 200 lessons. But I kept putting it aside. And I used to think it's because I wasn't ready for it. Or not that I wasn't ready, or that I didn't understand it. But what I've recently discovered, it was the opposite. Part of me understood it way too well and was not ready to for even a slight reduction of my ego. But again, seeds were being planted. Thank you, Rowena. Samantha says, I was addicted to fruit machines. Then I worked for a company that installed them. I learned it was all a con. So this was like fresh fruit. So anyway, I'm sorry, myself. Long story short, I like Marianne Williamson. I don't know if I resonate. I actually have opened up one of her books yesterday, Divine Compensation, because I was thinking about my channel. I was thinking about a lesson that came up in review just today. To give and receive are one. Somewhere along the line, we don't think that we're meant to receive. Um, but that was an important starting point for me, Mustafa. Buddha says, light to you for the eternal moments. Amen. Sniper says it's all in the timing, Michael. Uncle says, I'm turning into the boxing because I want to see Jake Paul gets sparked out. Well, Tiger King, I'm going to be relying on you for an update. So tomorrow, if you get a chance, pop in and let me know how it goes. And you as well, Rowena. Uncle says, nope, I'm not an electrician, nor believe that spirit boxes work. I think we talked about that once before. Why? How come a spirit box wouldn't work? Hey, Buddha. Buddha, how are you? How are things in the mountains? Hey, Three Jammer. Buddha says, when ye look to the light, that will be the start of true perception. Allah is voice. Get away from Sebastian. Sebastian, how are you? Mustafa says, what do you think of Mark Twain? Maybe the greatest American novelist ever. Really good guy, too. He loved dogs. F. Scott Fitzgerald. I read The Great Gatsby for school. Not overly impressed. Just wasn't my style. I loved Harper Lee. To Kill a Mockingbird was a very meaningful book for me, as was the movie. They did a revised thing where they made Atticus Finch not a really great guy, which I don't think was necessary. But I love Harper Lee. I love To Kill a Mockingbird. One of the rare occasions when the book and the movie were equally great. Now, it helped that it had Gregory Peck. Do you know that was Robert Duvall's first movie role? He played Boo Ridley. Peggy King says, Gambling, that would be amazing for me. For good luck to get someone up. Please read this. If someone comes across my attention, Tiger King, if you ever want to share your story, Sherry says, I'm the one who stated that I have repeatedly binged the book, Course of Miracles. Never actually did one lesson a day. I meditate daily with a variety of practices. Gotcha. Have you ever thought about, I think you mentioned, uh, diving in for a year's worth? Here's one of the things that Dov Fishman said. After he was practicing 30 years in, he got, hear the Holy Spirit say, Dov, put the book aside. No longer felt the need to, it was time to live it. And he still picks it up, he still reads it, but he doesn't do the practices anymore. What he will do is lesson 200 to 221, which is a review. And he believed it contains the essence of A Course in Miracles. Right now, I am at, I don't know how many times I've been through the workbook, but I think when I get to that point, when I get to 220 again, I might do what Dub did. I might leave it there. He's also the one who mentioned using lesson 25. I don't know what anything is for as a mantra. But he believed, by the way, he believes that those lessons 220, 221, 200 to 221. If you've already been through the workbook at least once, we'll give you the entire essence, the holographic um, outlook on the entirety of the course. So these reviews always start out the same. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. If you get that, you get it all. Here's the reveal, lesson 201. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I trust my brothers who are one with me. And then there's a prayer. No one but is my brother. I am blessed with oneness with the universe and God, my Father, one creator of the whole. That is myself forever, one with me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. This is how forgiveness becomes a real possibility. If you do not see that someone is a body separate and apart from you, that they don't have a distinction, this body, that body, this body, but they are literally spiritual beings with a body appearing in the mind, not the mind in the body, but the body appearing in the mind, that's when forgiveness becomes a real possibility, true forgiveness. Until then, we're just playing games. Let's see, where are we, guys? Rowena says, she's got a lovely voice. Who's that, Rowena? Oh, fruit machines equal slot machines. Gotcha. I never heard that before. Sebastian says to Sherry he subscribed. Awesome. Sherry says, Tiger King, take care. Hang on. Here we go. I'm not great either. Michael says, because all it is radio stations, not ghosts, because the device itself is manually operated radio. But aren't you supposed to be able to catch the voice in between the stations? Catch the voice within the static? Tiger King says, what you mean, Cherry? And she says, I mean that strangers on the internet sometimes really care. Agreed. Rita says, peace. Can you remember what you do unto the least of them? And that means animals as well. I agree. I agree. Imagine if we really practiced that. How would we be in a live stream chat if we took it as our prerogative? Maybe that's not the right word. Tiger King says, yes, we'll tell you my story, give date, tell you all. We'll work something out. Might not be until the new year. In the meantime, you're always free to pop up just to say hi. Sebastian says to Sherry, please subscribe. Sherry says, makes sense. Intellectual seeking guilty can be a diversion. I talk about that very often. I'm asked about that on occasion. Do I think that my yoga practice, my meditation, breath work does get in the way with the course? Answer is absolutely not. For me, A Course in Miracles is yoga. There's no distinction between the two. Hey, Dolly. Dolly, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend. Peace, blessings, happiness, and prosperity. Yogi and friends. Much love. Much love to you, Dolly. Taking my supplement. So, Sherry, what was your initial intro into all things spiritual? Rowena says, Christmas, ho to the P, hope, love, peace, and charity. Beautiful. Sebastian says, thank you. Hey, Toy Pups. Toy Pup says, hey, Dolly. Hey, Star Seeker. All the First Nation tribes. Man, I'm sorry, I missed some stuff. Thank you for the floating jewels. Star Seeker, how are you? Mike and Venus, how are you? God's got a lovely voice. I always like Herman Melville's statement. Silence is the only voice of God. Star Seeker says, yes, bless the Hopi. I visited on my honeymoon actually the Hopi and the Navajo reservations. What's up? This is Eric. I haven't seen any new workout videos on your channel. Is everything all right? I haven't made one. It's been over a week. Haven't missed a workout. Never miss workouts. I didn't know if they would be distracting with the new stuff I'm putting out. So I recently discovered how to make clips, long form content and shorts out of my live streams. I never knew how to do this before. A guest on Monday before last. Or was it this Monday? My dates are all confused. I think it was this Monday. Lisa Natoli, wonderful guest. I really liked hanging out with her. After the live stream, man, she was so gracious and kind with her comments. She told other people that it was a favorite discussion, said interview that she's done. And she mentioned to other people that they should come up on the channel and have a conversation. She asked me if I could make shorts and some clips out of the live stream that she could use. And I started saying, I don't know how. And I've told this story before. That was the start of it. And then my YouTube mentor, Toy Pups, I heard her voice say, do you not know how to do it, or do you don't want to do it? Which was an excellent point. Toy Pups is a good teacher even when she's not there to teach me. And then I thought of all the awesome stuff that Kat does. So I decided to try. And I did it. And I've been doing it every day now, since that date, since Lisa Natoli. So I've been focusing on that. And I thought, you know, here's what I noticed. The more videos I put out from my live streams, the less views my nature videos get. So it might be confusing the algorithms. So it makes me wonder if I put out workout videos, does that confuse the algorithms even more? Am I a workout channel? Am I a live stream spiritual channel? Am I a nature channel? So I don't know. You guys let me know. Sissy, let's see. Star Secret says, Tiger King, I fertilized my fruit trees. Hey, Coco. Coco, how are you? Sorry, guys. Everything skipped a bit. Star Seeker wants to know what Tiger King did today. Tiger King wants to know what's Sissy. What you do today? Rita says, y'all give me hopes received. Kind of you to say. Anu gives us a wave. Thank you, Anu. Anu is the newest member to the channel. Big thank you for Shirley for becoming a member as well. Tiger King went to drama. So you got a show coming up, Tiger King? You all doing a Christmas show? Sure says into was Intro was in John Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness course, and early childhood no dual experience. Well, I'd be really interested in hearing about your non-dual experience. I have a couple John Kabat-Zinn books. Marina says, "May flights of angels carry you to rest." You as well. Silence is golden. Agreed, Ali. Star Seeker says, "Drama class." Says, "Awesome. Tiger King sounds fun." It does sound fun. You can tell that it's a passion for Tiger King when he talks about it. Sherry says, "Intro. I went full science in an intelligent world in teens and 20s, but I've always obsessed with the mystery of God. They used to be not so different. Wasn't Einstein said that he was only concerned about the mind of God and everything else was details? All the great quantum physicists, their early days, brought it into fruition, were mystics. Oppenheimer quoted the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, it was when he designated the first atomic bomb. Um, Schopenhauer read the Upanishads. Wolfgang Pauli, him and Jung talked quite a bit about mysticism together. Zipper says, with a hint of silver edges only to Dolly. Peggy King says, where is that from? Where are you from? The Star Seeker? Thank you, Toy Pups. Star Seeker says she doesn't understand Tiger King. I think he meant where are you from? Also wants to know if she's going to watch Jake Paul fight. Hey, Drill. Mate, I'm new to your channel. Well, welcome, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Tom gives a welcome. Thank you, Tom. Zampa says, Star Seeker, have you ridden horses before? And Sherry says, yes, it's so beautiful to see science and non-duality unite. It doesn't have to be a secret anymore. Agreed. Do I believe in Advaita Vedanta? You know, I've asked that question before, and I really don't think it's a belief. I think as long as you're believing it, you haven't had the experience of it. I have had my own, and of course, Advaita Vedanta is just another way of saying non-duality. Rowena says, and I think quite a few have had those non-dual experiences. A lot of people don't know what they are, so they're uncategorized. What about you, Drew? Hey, Duncan. Rita says, oh, and Joseph Smith's spirit is hilarious. Have fun to you, please. What do you mean, Rowena? What are your thoughts on Mormonism? Sir Seeker says, yes, I've got horses. Duncan, what's new? Duncan, what are the plans for 2026? What are the goals? You see, Max is back, right? Tiger King says, why didn't you get back to my question, Star Seeker? I think she did. I think she asked you what you meant, Tiger King. Oh, you meant Jake Paul? So here's what's been on my mind. The prayer of St. Francis. This is one of my earliest means of meditation. Agnatha Swaran would teach passage meditation, where you take a spiritual passage, one that has stood the test of time, that carries the vibration of generations upon generations that have meditated upon it. You sit in your regular meditation position, which is just straight back. Doesn't have to be rigid. You don't have to be in a lotus position. You can be in a chair. You can be leaning back, some kind of support if you want. Take a few mindful breaths. Begin with a prayer. He recommends doing it, or spiritual passage. He recommends starting, at least starting with the prayer of St. Francis. Ignatius Warren's premise was that you become what you meditate upon. So if you are meditating upon being an instrument of God's peace, you become what you meditate on. Imagine that. We could all be instruments of God's peace. You begin by repeating each word, but as if you're dropping a pebble into a still pool of water so that it ripples forth, carries in deep into your consciousness, deep into your subconscious. You're planting seeds. And Sanskrit, it's called a sankalpa, an intent. When your mind wanders, which it does in meditation, you just come back to the passage. If it wanders completely away, you start daydreaming. Now you start the whole passage over again and you go through. You do this for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's a beautiful prayer. I did this for quite a few years before I came across primordial sound meditation, which is what I teach, what I've been practicing since the 90s. Let me read this prayer, and then I'll catch up in the chat, and I'll tell you why I'm going to read the prayer. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is darkness, hope. Where there's despair, hope. Apologize. Where there's darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying to self that we are born into eternal life. So I wanted to read this because imagine if we in the chat, and then outside of the chat, and then other chat, other live streams, whether we're Christmas shopping in Walmart, whether we're grocery shopping, buying shoes, driving. Imagine if we kept those words, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. What if we were peacemakers? We think of peacemakers as being a very lofty position for diplomats, world leaders. And we seldom even think of them as peacemakers, do we? We don't have true peace. We broker deals that are tenuous at best. But peace starts when we are meditating upon peace. What if we made ourselves, what if we realized ourselves, what if we self-realized ourselves to be instruments of peace? Where there was hatred, we sowed love. Where there's injury, we pardon. We practice forgiveness. It wasn't a theory. It wasn't something that we gave lip service to. We actually practice it. What if where there was darkness, we brought light, and where there was sadness, we brought joy? Not a fake joy, not trying to cheer someone up type of joy, but the joy of giving them presents to be sad. What if we did that for each other? How would you approach someone in a live stream if your only priority was to be an instrument of peace? All right. Let me catch up with you guys. Sherry says, red horses, they breed energy. Very spiritual species. I've ridden horses too. Sarah Seeker says, sorry, I didn't see your question. Count on that distraction. Will I sing Christmas? I'm going to sing Christmas with Nature's Dog Realms. Chris, on the 22nd, we're going to do some Christmas songs. Rita says, communism isn't communing in a community. What do you think it is? Sarah Seeker says, don't know who Jake Paul is. Is it UFC? Simply said they had a sense that you had, Star Seeker. I too, when I was very young, for about 10 years. Duncan says, I'm working on collaboration with other YouTubers to market the workout plans and getting um, get a world that bit healthier. Awesome. Awesome. I need to step up my Duncan Walsh game. Guys, I hope you connect with Duncan Walsh. You heard his mission? Get the world that bit healthier. Just a little bit. One person at a time. Duncan has a workout plan for you. If you want to get in shape, Duncan has a workout plan for you. I promise. Mustafa says, Eric, where can I get Karen Palmer's books? It is on Amazon. If you put in Amazon and Karen Palmer in the search engine, it'll come right back up. Duncan says, got a personal best for 100 bump pumps as well. 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Make sure you guys connect with Duncan Walsh. Duncan says, I said PB, not a world record. I expect nothing but world records from you, Duncan. 423. It wasn't that far off. Sniper says, Eric, Priest Holy blew your cover. I don't understand. Tiger King says, Cat, you are a goddess. I agree, Tiger King. Yugi needs more memberships so he can pay his internet bill. And my taxes, unfortunately. Did read my last message, Cat? Thank you, Cat. Cat says, thanks, Tiger King. Sorry, I'm not really reading chat much. She's just listening to me drone on and on. Hey, Christian. Cheers from Italy, old wise lion. I really like that. Thank you. You got the old part, right? Oh, the freeze troll king. Now I got it. Now I got it. Did I freeze again? I guess I did freeze again because my whole thing started over. Yeah, every so often, no wonder Cat was saying the internet bill. Now I got it. Peggy Kings, why do you never talk about brother? For talk about my brother? Not much to say. I don't want to really talk about, he does his thing, I do mine. It's not really fair to talk about him. What's up, Marlon? Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you. Duncan says, thanks, Sherry. Did you look into a hard drive? I did look it up. It looks interesting and simple. It looks pretty simple, Duncan. Nah, my brother doesn't do YouTube. My cat's a pretty good Tiger King. This one is particularly noisy lately. See? Hey, you want to say hi to him? Say hi. Sherry says, did you also find many old relationships dropped away at a deep level? Superficial chat became difficult and odd. Interesting. A lot dropped away. So, Jerry, I told this story quite a bit. As my meditation practice deepened, as I got more involved with the Course of Miracles, yoga, I was also studying very much with the Self Realization, the local chapter of the Self Realization Fellowship. Uh, that is Paramahansa Yogananda's organization. And I would go to Bethesda to do classes. Tara Brach, great Buddhist teacher. I've done retreats there as well. But always a course that drew me in, but course in meditation that drew me in, course in yoga that drew me in. As I practiced, I planted these seeds things began to change. Bad habits dropped away without me saying, I'm going to stop doing this. I just stopped. My diet changed. I lost a ton of weight. A lot of it was muscle. I was a 220-pound powerlifter, but I wore that size, the muscle, the bulk, sort of as a protection. I walked through the world as if no one could touch me. As I meditated, the weight just dropped away. Still strong, still worked out, but I just didn't need that excess bulk that I carried with me. Last thing, some relationships left. Some I tried to hold on to. It wasn't always easy. But the last thing, the last big change, alcohol left my life in one step. An amazing step. Never thought I would do it. Never tried to do it. I mentioned this story before. People would say, was it hard for you to quit drinking? And my answer was no, because I never tried. But one day I was given a start view where my life would go if I kept drinking, where my life would go if I didn't. Where it was gonna go if I did was a mystery. I decided to be okay with the mystery. I stepped in that direction. 26 years without a drink. But yeah, things and relationships dropped out of my life for sure. Big Al was in 2 or 3 days ago. Tiger King. Looking at Amazon for, I think that's the one I looked up. I think so. $17. I think that is the one I looked up. Simple says you step through that stargate of opportunity. I like the sound of that. Duncan said clarity. Now, I needed something drastic to give me that clarity and to give me that stargate of opportunity. I needed a police car, a state trooper behind me. I needed those flashing lights. I needed to be pulled over. I needed to be given a DWI. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud that I needed that. I'm not proud that I had been meditating, that I've been practicing a course, that I've been doing yoga. And still, I clung to my identity as a drinker. But as soon as I saw those flashing lights behind me, I knew my time of drinking had come to an end. I clearly saw one way. If I continued this way, my life was going to end in tragedy because I endangered other people. I endangered myself. And I told this story just the other day. I tell it often. When the state trooper, an off duty state trooper, asked me to roll down my window and he said, "Have you been drinking?" Very polite, "Sir, have you been drinking?" And I said, "Yes." Didn't try to lie, didn't try to hide it. And I answered honestly, "But I will never drink again. I'm never going to drink again." And he told me later that night that he believed me and he hoped it was true. Tiger King says, "Eric, why can't you sing one Christmas song?" I'm going to wait until I do it with Chris, Tiger King. We're going to make a show of it. Sherry says, "See, that is exactly what I mean. We become honest with ourselves and it makes people uncomfortable." Thanks for the honest share. You're welcome, Sherry. Tom says, "I remember having a clear thought in my head. If this doesn't stop now, this isn't going to end well." It's amazing that we choose, or we seem to choose. This is if our friend Perajat was here, he would enjoy me quoting Krishnamurti. This is what Krishnamurti meant by choiceless awareness. I didn't choose sobriety. It seemed like I did. This was a perfect non-dual moment. There was no me there to choose that. It was just as if every cell in my body went from a drinker, from an alcoholic. In an instant, every cell became that of someone who didn't drink. My mindset went, my thoughts went from someone who drank, from someone who had a clear sense of identity. I go to bars. I drink. I drink to get drunk. I'm having a good time. I'm the life of the party. Except I was miserable. Drank myself out of relationships. I've wrecked cars. Again, I endangered people's lives. I was not happy. I kidded myself, conned myself. Um, Forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for that gift. It's the thing with grace. You can court grace, but you can't petition for grace. You can't demand grace. Bill W. said you needed to really become sober, a life of sobriety, you needed an epiphany. And I was granted an epiphany without even trying. I planted the seeds, meditation and coursework for that epiphany to take shape. It makes you wonder, the practice that you're doing now, are you practicing forgiveness, true forgiveness as presented by the course? Are you meditating? Are you practicing bhakti yoga? What are you planting now that it's going to blossom later in life? I wonder that. And I'm 60. Hey, Mr. Something Else. Sherry says, Bhakti, yes. What Bhakti practice is your favorite? I'm going to go out on a limb and say chanting. Could be wrong. It might be japa. Mark says 6 hours without a drink. Remedy that shortly. Price the fig. I'm happy you have a holiday for even your totem. Don't get the last part. Something about ham. I have never heard anyone for a ham before. Curtin. Sniper was in Ibiza when I was 25 at an 18 to 30 party, free drink week. I was in a hospital for 10 days after a failed stomach bump. Well, had a collapsed lung, last drink. That'll do it. Hey, I might have Paul Hederman come up. He sent me his number. I got to send him a text. Maybe I can see if I can get him up next week. He could give us a Zen bitch slap. Jerry says, Paul Hederman says the same as you regarding addiction. Mr. Something Else says, hey, Eric, just woke up. How was your sleep? Well, it wasn't your first stomach bump. Isn't it amazing that we'll torture ourselves almost endlessly until we stop? Mr. Something Else says, Bill Deer here, glazed ham at Christmas. I think it's a big deal here for ham or turkey for people as well. Sepper says, glazed, yum. Hey, if you remind me in the afternoon tomorrow, I will reach out to Paul and see if I can get him to come up. This is awesome. He will do it. Paul loves services. Paul loves service. I'm getting, I think I mentioned Richard Lang, I hope. Who else? I mentioned tomorrow, Chris, how neuropsychology is catching up with Buddhism. He will be up tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Sunday, my friend, I can never pronounce his name. Giblase Love is going to come up. We're going to talk all things Course in Miracles. He is someone else who has had his battles with addiction. He actually got pulled back in as he was traveling singing songs about A Course in Miracles. He was booked all over the world, but it pulled him back into his addiction. I don't want to say too much. I'm going to let him tell his story. We're going to wrap things up in a minute, guys. They'll still have juice. The ham. This is something else. Says, hey, did the asteroid kill us? All last night. This is just AI. That that could be. That could be. That really made me laugh, Mr. Something. Let's see. Don't know Denmore or Todd Lentz. I am not familiar with them. Hey, Jerry, is there anyone that you'd like to see come up that you think I might be able to get? Let me know. Hey, Seth. Seth, how you been? I think we're gonna stay live for about 5 minutes, guys. I'm gonna get ready for bed. Seth says he's good, my friends. Awesome. Glad to hear it. It's nice to see you. I have a couple other course students. I invited our friend Rational Man Ricky, the Rational Man Ricky, to maybe come up and do a Christmas service. Haven't heard back yet. Ricky's been up twice so far. This is something else says, okay, Sniper, fingers crossed. I'm hitting chemistry liquor store and music shop when the chaos erupts. No showing on the lane dance from Yogi. Not tonight, Lady Sky. I appreciate that you're ever hopeful that I will one day do it. I can tell you now, though, your hope will probably never pay off. Sherry says mindfulness Todd or is that Pinelli would likely come up. YouTube awakening curriculum and mindfulness, very real life. Awesome. If you come across them, if you want to go ahead and drop an invite, I'd be happy. They can reach out to me. I will look them up too. I'm always on the lookout for people. I'm always cruising for YouTube, people that I've talked to for years, people I've just met. I'm getting all kinds of connections because of some great course teachers. Lady Sky says, bummer. Yogi, you got to do the dance. It will be epic. Man, I'm not sure I'm up for epic anymore, Lady Sky. Oh, oops, unfettered mindfulness. Gotcha. Jake Paul will win round one, knockout. You really think so? I really don't know who. I've never seen Jake Paul fight. I wonder what he could do against an actual boxer, though. Biscoff makes me feel sick just thinking about eating it. I don't know what Biscoff is, actually. Hey, Mike. Mike, it's nice to see you, my friend. Hey, Cassandra. Tom says, doesn't watch scripted fights. You think it's scripted? Not much is happening, Cassandra. It's nice to see you. Yep, Cassandra, you can always send me an email, my friend. Do you? It should be easy to find in the description, in my channel description. If you don't see it, let me know. I'll write it here and then I can erase it. One of us says, no, it's basically to set up Jake and KSI, so Jake will lose so he can fight KSI, who is another YouTuber. But why would he fight him if he lost? Jerry says, biscotti. Oh, is it cookies? And they are delicious. You don't like cookies, Runner Boy? I know you don't like cheese. I know you like oranges. This guy says about to make some tomato soup for my supper tonight, Yogi. Is that going to be enough tomato soup? Katanya says, okay, got it. Could you put it in the group and here so I can screenshot it, please? Yep. Let me know when you have it. All right. I don't want to hear any comments. When you see my email address, no comments. You know who you are. Oops. It's that. They're doing a bit better. Above freezing, at least. Here, too. It took a while, though. This guy says, hands down, chocolate chip cookies would be my favorite kind of cookies. I like them, too. You and me both. Yep, it'll be enough for me. Tomato soup. Good. I missed something else. He also said the solstice in a few days. Yep, what, 2 days now? Less than 2 days. She's coming. I knew she was my woman partner, other half. She's free spirit, and I see her um, every 3 to 4 years. Interesting. What's 2 plus 65? 2 plus 65. 67? Hey, Rebecca. Cassandra says, thank you. Yogi, how was your day? My day was really good today. I spent it with Dr. Sheila Patel, and we talked about sleep. One of my favorite things to talk about, actually. Unrequited love sucks, but I love her. We've all been there. Ranch or blue cheese? None. I like my vegetables naked. 6, 7. I got it. 6, 7. 51, #3. It's the current big meme. Meme. Um, yeah, I've been fortunately, I hear people talk about it, but I've never actually experienced it. I think I've been blessed that way. Tom says 6 plus 7. Runner Boy says, okay, bye guys. Runner Boy, thanks for popping in. Hey, Sue. Word of the year 2025, the dictionary is slop. Why is that the word of the year? Sonia says 6, 7 is a song. Everyone's saying it. It's a teenage thing. So they would not appreciate me crashing their teenage thing. Jerry says, pronounced meme, and I don't get it. The 6, 7 thing. I don't think we're supposed to get it. I didn't really do the 80s lingo either because in the 80s, although I appreciated 80s music quite a bit, I like new wave music. Um, but I was very much stuck in the 1960s and the 80s as I was traveling with the dead. What round you going for in the fight, Eric? Think it'll go the distance. I think the boxer will win. He will outbox him. Not sure, Yogi, but I think they mentioned it last week in the news. Huh. Slop. I get it. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap things up. I'm going to bed. I got my own sleep practice to do. Remember tomorrow, Chris Neibauer. No self, no problem. What do you think that means? Let's show up and find out. Let's talk to Chris. Bring your questions, guys. 6-7 is a kids thing. From school, the two numbers went viral this year, Yogi. Yeah, strange what does it, isn't it? Um, this live will be at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Cassandra. I'll be live tomorrow at 5 in the morning, just talking Course Miracles and stuff. And then, of course, 1 o'clock, and then this time again. I live in Maryland. I live south of Baltimore, north of DC, in a beautiful town called Columbia, Maryland. I can be in DC in 30 minutes. I can be in Baltimore in 20 minutes. Be in Philadelphia in an hour. I could be on the Appalachian Trail, hiking in the mountains, full of bears and rattlesnakes in about an hour. If I drive fast, maybe 45 minutes. I could be on the Chesapeake Bay in 20 minutes. I could be in the ocean in about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I got the Potomac River not far. Patapsco River is about 10 minutes away. The Patuxent, Little Patuxent, is virtually in my backyard. I got a beaver pond less than a quarter mile from my house. I love my hometown, in case you can't tell. Duncan says the humor of 6-7 comes from the sheer randomness and lack of a punchline. Gotcha. I can appreciate that for sure. My humor is always about randomness. Sniper says, please research rapper Unk 607. You see why he wants all the children, kids' energy saying his name, as zero isn't a number in magic. Magic requires energy and attention just like this. So I'm Speedy Gonzalez when I drive. I try to be safe. Sure says Canada, you are blessed where you live. I love Canada too. I'm definitely blessed where I live. My town, Columbia, Maryland, it was designed by James Rouse. James Rouse is the grandfather of Edward, the actor. Edward Norton grew up here, but he designed it on very idealistic principles. He wanted it to be a very green community. No telephone poles. Everything's underground. Uh, it's planned around villages. Every village had a village center, and then you had a town center. You could get everywhere if you wanted to on bike paths, all interconnected. We have hundreds of miles of bike paths, um, going through woods, going through fields. Beautiful little area. Um, Abundant wildlife right in my backyard, and yet I could also be in Whole Foods, 5 minute drive. I could walk there. I'm a fast walker. I could walk there in about half an hour. Um, I'm probably about 11 hours from Nashville. But he also wanted interfaith centers. He didn't want churches. So that you would have at your interfaith center, you might have a mosque, right? You might have and then people leaving the mosque, and you'd have um, Jewish people coming in for a temple. And then you might have Baptists coming in. So it was all designed around that. Affordable housing. You had housing that would meet everyone's level. I just loved growing up here. I love that idealistic, that it was based upon principles. Yeah, I need to go to bed. Thank you, Tiger King. I do watch your shorts. I try to watch all of your shorts, Cassandra. I've left some comments. He definitely was a visionary. Robert Johnson made a deal, didn't he, Mr. Something Else? All right, so I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Love you all. I will see you if you're around at 5. Come on by, hang out with me. If not, coming in and we're going to listen to at 1 o'clock, ask some questions to Chris Neibauer. Duncan says he washes his shorts also. Very important. Very important. At least once every couple of weeks, I'll wash my shorts. Cassandra says, okay, I'll check it out, but I'm going to do another singing one because I keep missing your karaoke on Saturday nights. Because Saturday is my busiest day at work. Yep, you're a gig worker. We haven't done a streaming, we haven't done a singing night for a while. Maybe tomorrow. Thank you, Lady Sky. Cassandra says, you're the best and love you too. Thank you. Love Hunter Thompson. Gonzo Journalism. Good night, Sniper. Hey, Tiger King. Let me know who wins the fight tomorrow when you get a chance, all right? You all have a good night. Take care.